Hello, Virginia Beach! I just can't even believe I'm here. I really can't believe I'm here with all of you today. I'm already ahead of my speech because this is such a great country. I mean, that's where I have to start. This is such a great country. God bless America. God bless America. So many of you have traveled from so very far. Sheriff, you have. So many of you others, Dewey. I mean, from all across Virginia, you've come. So when I say Virginia Beach, I mean Virginia. You know, this is where it started for me. And Thelma Drake, I remember I met Thelma, dark, a long time ago. So many years ago, and I had seen her working, and she was trying to ensure that the black population in Virginia understood that she wanted to do right by everyone. And we just kept fighting these silly racial battles, and I thought, I'm gonna go help her. And then she asked me to run for delegate, and she became my mentor. And then here I am now, and she is introducing me 20-some years later. And Bishop Chase took a chance. So many of you, that's what you did, and I want to acknowledge so many of you in the room today who are elected, and you know what it feels like to get the slings and the arrows, even though in your heart you're trying to do the right thing. But you decided, well, I'm going to jump into the arena anyway. Thank you. Thank you for being here. If I acknowledged all of you, we'd be here all day, and, well, we've got to go to sleep at some point. So it's great to be here with you. The future, a new chapter is about to begin. Together, we have the power to ensure that our brightest days are ahead of us still. But to make that future a reality, we must come together. It is really that simple. We must stand strong. We must support each other. We must share each other's values and vision. And folks, first and foremost, in 2024, that means standing with President Trump. It means standing with Hung Kao for our Senate. And it means we must stand very steadfast with our incumbents so that they can continue Virginia's best interests in the Congress. And I'm talking about Rob Whitman. We must send him back to serve the 1st District. Virginia Beach's very own Jen Kiggins, right here in the 2nd District. Ben Klein, my congressman, back to the 6th District. And Morgan Griffith, someone I served with, back, folks, to the 9th District. But we're not stopping there. We can't stop there because this is our time to flip key House seats. Yes. We're going to send a message about Virginia having bold, conservative leadership, and I'm talking about Navy Chief Quartermaster Dr. John Sitka in the 3rd, Bill Maher in the 4th, Navy SEAL John McGuire in the 5th, Army Green Beret Derek Anderson in the 7th, Army Master Sergeant Jerry Torres in the 8th, Mike Clancy in the 10th, and Navy helicopter pilot Mike Van Mitter in the 11th. Yes, this 2024 election cycle is going to be tough. No doubt about it. But we've got to be ready to handle multiple challenges because Yes, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can do that. Life doesn't always give us nice, easy paths. They give us challenges, and we've got to meet them. We've got to be able to prioritize them, because that's what leaders do. We have to take bold and decisive action. Winning Virginia, my friends, is not just possible, it is necessary. Necessary, because the Democrats have had a head start, and they're fighting tooth and nail to win in November. And by the way, they want to win in November of 2025 as well, but we're not going to let them, are we? With your support, we can secure the future of Virginia and make sure that the values that we cherish remain strong for generations to come. So, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Let's get to work. I've already said that I stand before you in awe of this very great country. More than 60 years ago, a man left his home in Jamaica and embarked on a journey to America with $1.75 to seek his fortune to change his life. He dreamed, yes, of a better life. He wasn't certain what challenges faced him, but he understood that if he could make it anywhere, it was going to be in America. He was a stranger in a strange land. Yes, he came from a British colony to a former British colony, spoke the same language, but with a different accent. So much was special about this country, and you see so many like him, and before him, believed deeply in the spirit of this country and the values that made it a beacon of hope and opportunity for generations. And yes, America is not perfect. And if you find that perfect country, don't go there. Because you will make it not perfect. In fact, when my father came in 1963, just 17 days later, Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech. It was the height of the civil rights movement. But folks, it is no longer 1963. This is 2024. We are not living in 1963. Things have changed, have they not? Of course they have. Because how else could I be second in command in the former capital of the Confederate States? The Klan is turning over in their grave. In fact, when I was a delegate so many years ago, I was the one who carried the bill to protect us against the Klan when right here in Virginia Beach, a black man and his wife, who was white, were terrorized by the Klan. And my bill survived, and we live under that bill today. And so those of us who would like to divide us, we must not let them. We must not let them. We must be able to live in peace. Our children must live the dream. They must create the dream. Dr. King said, I may not get there with you, but he said there would come a day when things would change. When are we going to acknowledge that we are living in those times, that we do have a hope and a future? When? I am reminded of Jeremiah 29:11, which says, for I know the plans I have for you. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's how we started in America. And yes, he said, I may not get there with you, but the doors will open. They're opening. How else could I be standing here? Listen to me. No matter who you are or where you are from, no matter if you're a man or a woman, no matter your race or religion, in America, if you work hard and you never back down from a challenge, you can make it. This we know is true. You can make it. If you can't make it in America, you can't make it anywhere. You don't have to be a victim. You can, my friends, be an overcomer. That's what we are. You throw things at us, we will overcome them. The enslaved did not die in the fields so that in 2024 we could still say that we are victims. Not at all. In fact, we have a saying in church, and it is this: I may not be what I'm supposed to be, but I ain't what I used to be. And that is America. She's getting there. She may not be what she's supposed to be, but she ain't what she used to be. I know this because the man that I originally mentioned, the man from Jamaica, he was my father. He was my father, and he came back for me, put me on that Pan American jet. And I arrived in the cold in New York. Different sounds, different foods. And here I am today because, you see, his dream was that he would have a place in this world, a place with opportunity. And as we talk about opportunity, I want to tell you that I've not lived an easy life. I did not start college until I had 3 children, one of whom sits here today, and the other, hi Janelle, is in Florida. I started college, 3 children under 5. We only had 1 car. My Marine Corps husband and with that 1 car, he went to work, and he had a bicycle really from college, bought a car seat, little seat, put it on the bicycle, and we took the young baby who is now in Florida, dropped her off at school, and I went to class. So I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and I'm telling you, if you put your mind to it, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can make it. This is America. It is never too late. I've had great pain and great sorrow. Yes, but a story like mine, a Jamaican immigrant, a United States Marine, a business owner, a homeless shelter director, the leader of a men's prison ministry, a former delegate, and now your lieutenant governor. That story is only possible in America. I love this great country, faults and all, yes, and I love our great commonwealth. I remember when we were still living in California, I'd gotten out of the Marines and my husband was still in, and he was deciding where we should live. And you know, I was raised in New York partly, and he was raised in South Dakota, and he said, well, you know, I've got family back in Virginia. And you know, and I said, well, I don't know about that. But I said, let's try. And so here we are in the great old Virginia. Virginia, where everything started. Virginia, where the wars finished, where Cornwallis surrendered to George Washington at Yorktown. Yes. Where Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox. Where Christopher Newport planted the cross right here in Virginia Beach. Everything started right here in Virginia. It is up to us, ladies and gentlemen, to carry the dream forward for our children. We must make the darkness tremble. We must preserve Virginia for the next generation. And yes, the truth can be offensive because policy matters. I want to tell you, I think we are living in interesting times indeed. Extreme leftist policies have led some states down a path of decline. Taxes, reckless spending leave working families unable to afford the things that they need, let alone the things that they want, the nice-to-haves. Folks are living in fear. Lethal drugs are ravaging our generation. In fact, drugs are the #1 cause of unnatural deaths in Virginia, not guns. Remember that. So, how did we do it in Virginia? What did we do differently? Well, I'm glad you asked. Common sense conservative leadership was the way. We refueled our rebirth and restored hope to many, thanks to the leadership of our great governor, Glenn Youngkin. We did what we said we would do. We have brought safety and security to our families and to our businesses. We treat criminals like criminals. We make sure that the victims see that their perpetrators are brought to justice. We restored pride in law enforcement and our Department of Corrections personnel. They should know we have their backs. Thank you for protecting us, because we know that every day you put that uniform on could be your last watch. And I was just at the funeral of a deputy killed in cold blood in the bright daylight. A young man cut down, 3 children, 28 years old. Virginia cannot survive in lawlessness. We have also opened Virginia's economy to new opportunities. We're attracting corporate headquarters, even from overseas. We have grown 10,000 businesses right here in Virginia. Yes. And we have also supported our businesses that are already here. We have cut taxes for working families and put more of their hard-earned money back in their pocket, because I want to know how much of my own money that I work hard for do I get to keep. It's the right thing to do to give you back your own money. When we were elected, folks, we inherited an inadequate behavioral system. Those among us who are mentally challenged and their families went from crisis to crisis. We heard that in 2021, and we decided we're going to do something about it. Enough was enough. Virginians should not suffer, and especially not in silence. And so we rolled up our sleeves and we created a comprehensive approach which set clear goals, achievable goals, and put into action what we call right help, right now, because it was time. We're going to have mobile units and so many other things to help those of us who need the help. And thank you to our doctors, our nurses, our midwives, our EMTs, everyone in the medical profession who worked tirelessly to bring us back to good health, and especially during COVID, because, my friends, it wasn't COVID that closed our schools. It wasn't COVID that closed our businesses. It wasn't COVID that closed our houses of worship. It was government policies in response to COVID that closed our churches, our temples, our houses of worship, our businesses, our way of life, because Florida did not close down in the way that we did, because leaders know you must assess the threat, and once you understand it, you open back up. Folks, we have empowered parents to make education options for their children. Education lifted my father out of poverty with $1.75 in his pocket, lifted me out of poverty, will lift all of us out of poverty. And this is the new Brown versus Board of Education fight. It was never about a brick building. It was about what was in the brick building. The opportunities, the good school books, the lab equipment. We don't worship the building. No, we care about the child. So we thank our teachers. They simply want to help us to shape the lives of our children, to shape the future. We have and will always, as we turn to our veterans, support them. I just listed for you the various people who are running for office to continue to serve those who put their lives on the line in combat areas, and they want to serve again. But we're not done. You know that. We all know that. I wouldn't be here today if the American dream weren't still waiting for others to grab hold of her. I'm living proof that it's still alive. As I traveled through Virginia, just 2 weeks ago, I met a man from Egypt. He came with $1,000 in 2011, not knowing the language, and now he is a business owner of a thriving business. The dream is still alive. I know, though, for some, it does seem out of reach. The promise of a better life still beckons, yes, but it is not impossible, and that's why we're here today. I learned in the Marine Corps you have two options. Two, you adjust, adapt, overcome, or you go backwards. There is no going back. Forward is the only way I know. Forward is the only way I know. There's nothing back there. There's nothing back there. You've got to keep getting up. You've got to keep moving forward. You must overcome, because this is the only life we have. It's the one life. We must make something of it. Why? Because little boys and little girls are watching us from Fairfax to Fincastle, from Hasey to Henry, from Phoebus to Port Republic, from Wachapreague to Wise, all over Virginia. They're counting on us to keep going, to win, to succeed, for them, because we are the adults in the room. We can do this. We must do this. This is not about me. I don't make excuses. I never will stop working to get things done for you. For you. I am not the one who is saying, give me an opportunity and I'll show you that I will serve you. I have done so, you've heard, as a Marine. I've done so leading a men's prison ministry. I've done so leading a women's homeless shelter, driving them to their various appointments. I've done it. I don't have to say I'm going to do it. I've done it. I will not be overworked. I will not stop fighting. I will never let the little girls and little boys down. And that is why I announce today that I am running for governor of our great Commonwealth of Virginia.